Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Commissioner Schmidt.
Good morning.
Good morning. Before we begin, I have a note here that Mr. Drew DeGroot would like to make a few comments.
Yeah, I just want to address the agenda. If I could ask one of the commissioners to make a motion to amend regular business item number 1. It's listed as an on-sale malt beverage. It was actually advertised as a liquor license, so if there could be an amendment to item number 1 to state temporary on-sale liquor license instead of malt beverage license.
So you want an amendment for that change, or just that change?
Yeah,
Should we-
motion to amend the regular business agenda, item number 1.
Okay.
To a liquor license. instead of
All
malt
right.
beverage.
Is that the only request?
Yes.
Awesome. With
All right.
that request, I'd offer that motion with that
Okay.
amendment. Or
I better get public
alteration.
input first. though.
Yep.
Okay. First of all, welcome everyone. This is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, to our regular commission meeting. We do have a quorum present. Mr. Schmidt is on the phone with us. Mr. Ahrens is gone on guard duty, and my understanding is Commissioner Landine is in court this morning. So,
Yeah, I
anyway,
think, trying to protect some kids.
so I guess.
Very good.
I guess to begin with, before we have a motion for those changes, is there any public input? If not, I will entertain a motion now.
I will offer that motion with that change to the number 1, change it from malt beverage to liquor license.
Okay, thank you. Is there any
Need a second.
second for that?
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, Alicia, call the roll.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. Next, board action to approve the consent agenda items. Any public input on that? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
I'll offer
Move
the
to
motion.
approve.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Schmidt, second by Poppins. Is there any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. All right, then, moving on to our regular business. Item number 1, Alicia, will you read that for us, please?
This is a public hearing to consider an application for a temporary on-sale liquor license to operate outside the municipality for Lincoln County Fairgrounds Foundation, Inc., excuse me, for an event to occur on March 29th, 2025, located at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds, 27711 Highway 17, Lenox, South Dakota, 57039, legally described as 34.12 acres in the northeast corner, including railroad property, Section 29-Township 99, North, Range 51, west of the 5th Principal Meridian, Lincoln County, South Dakota.
Okay, and those, the change was noted in this as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I guess this is just a public hearing. Do I need to have opponents or proponents? Okay, I guess then I'll begin with proponents. Those in favor of it? Okay, are any opponents then? Those that will speak against it? Okay, all right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak as far as commissioners about it? Okay, I don't believe this is any board action at this particular time, correct? We do
No.
have to have board action?
Yep.
Okay, with that being said, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll offer the motion. To
I'll
approve.
second.
Okay, a motion by Poppins, a second by Schmidt to approve. Is there any discussion? None?
The only thing, Mr. Chairman, is to recognize the improving conditions at the fairgrounds as to the public access to it. I think that's a bright future still for Lincoln County, and hopefully the upcoming or new board will see the benefit of that facility way into our future. Thank you.
I agree. It's turning into a very positive, I guess, item that we can see each week in our meetings and so forth, that activities going on there. All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would also comment that it would give commissioners enough time to save a little money so that they can buy the necessary pies that help put the fundraiser over the edge. And this commissioner is hoping this year that when we are purchasing one, that at least he gets a slice of the pie.
Well, you'll have to work with some other commissioners to bid with you this year, Jim, unfortunately. So good luck to you on that.
Okay.
You know, didn't make any difference, pies or dogs, we got nothing. Anyway, okay, do I need to vote on this? Have we done that yet?
No, we
Okay,
haven't yet.
let's go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Moving on, Terry Floyd. Terry, I have a question. I know it states here, 2024 Lincoln County Bridge inspection updates. I know that, you know, you, in the past, you handed out these things as far as 24, 28, and.
Yep.
And these, are those, the guidelines that you use to inspect the ones, or?
No, so we're mandated to do inspections on bridges every 2 years. And box culverts, I believe, are every 4 years. So this year, starting last year, we split our bridges up because we have about 150-ish bridges. So last year was the first year that we split them up, and we're kind of in half, so we're doing half every year. So this year, we had about 90 structures, just short of 90 structures that we had re-inspected this year. And all of these are basically they're on township roads,
Okay.
so county-owned
Just-
structures.
Just for the record a little bit, those that might be listening, when you inspect, what are things that you look for?
Well, that's a great question, and I have Josh Prather here from IMEG, and I'll let him explain what they look for on that.
Okay.
Welcome,
everybody.
Josh.
I'm
Morning.
Josh Prather with IMEG. Yeah, so I looked at all the bridges this year. So when we look through them, we look through, pretty much everything. It's a routine inspection and an element inspection, so everything from the approach, the deck, the superstructure, substructure, the channel, check for a scour. One thing that me and Terry were talking about is we did go back and look at all the bridges during the flood this year too, to recheck for scour and all that. So really, we do a full inspection on everything.
So you were part of every inspection?
I looked at every single bridge this year,
Okay.
yes.
135, did you say, Terry?
No, so we only had 89 to look at this
Okay,
year. On
all right.
And yeah, they're all on township roads.
Okay. And when you look at things, I guess, probably the age, but obviously if they're caving in or,
Yeah, so any deterioration, whether it's from overloading or whether it's from, age, if they're getting old, so whatever we find, we just.
So
have
what did
that
you
to
find?
report. Well, this year was a really good year.
Okay.
So overall this year, if you look through the sheet that we gave you, I didn't downgrade a single bridge, and there were 2 that were upgraded. So, overall, it was a really good year. If you think about the last 2 years, we didn't get much water. Usually that's what kills these things, is when we get high floods in the spring especially, so. But no, this was a really good year for this, and hopefully it continues like that.
are a lot of these bridges had water going over roads approaching to them or anything?
So I did most of these inspections in May and June.
Oh,
Flood was at the end of June.
Yeah.
There was no water. It was actually a really good year for inspections, because, I didn't have water going over my waders every.
Okay. Any
every
other
day.
questions for Josh? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Schmidt, you have any questions?
No, I'm just
Terry? did you-
reassured that, once again, Lincoln County does it the right way.
I agree. Terry, do you have anything to add?
I will say that a couple of these, I believe, are structures that the county, we went in and did some work on these to get these load limits, restrictions lifted or lessened. So we are out there trying to make a difference and trying to extend the life of our bridges by the maintenance we do, so.
We're all the
Mr. Chair?
township. Go ahead, Commissioner Schmidt.
Terry, a few years ago, I know that we had not kept up with bridge inspections. And I remember that, and I want to commend you for working that hard to bring it up to this point where they've got no downgrades on 89 of our bridges. Congratulations on that to you and your staff.
Yeah, and it's, to me, I mean, I don't want to take all the credit for it. I think a lot of this started with the past superintendent, Mr. Williams, because I think he was the one that really got us redirected and turned back towards the bridges where they'd kind of been forgotten about for several years. So that's just a program that we just continued on with and we're following up with, because these are highly expensive structures, and especially in today's world. I remember back when Steve was here, we could replace a structure for $250,000. And now we're looking at $450 to $500 just for one structure, so.
Do you notify each township then that the bridge has been inspected and what you find?
Typically, no, we don't notify townships. It's just an inspection. So if we, and the plan has been, if we're gonna try to replace a structure on a township road, we would like to approach the township and try to do some sort of an agreement with them to help do a cost share with them. We've done that on a couple of them already. We just feel that it's a township road, and at some point, if we do nothing with the structure, that helps alleviate our cost a little bit from the county's point. But if we do nothing with them, they'll eventually will close the bridge, if we don't have the money to replace it, right? So the township should have a buy-in on this, and I mean, again, we're not asking for a ton of money from them, and I understand monies are tight with them the way it is, but, so no, we don't notify them, only if we wanna look at replacing something, then we do, so.
Do you follow a form or something? I noticed that some of these say 12 ton to 19 ton and others say, 18 to 27. Is there,
I believe that's all set by the restriction percentage
Okay.
of the tonnage, so.
okay. Any other questions for Mr. Floyd? Okay, I guess, really, you don't need a
It's
motion
good
or
news,
anything?
Terry.
No action, this is good news for you, so.
Yeah, okay, very good, thank you.
report.
Moving on then to item number 3. Jared, excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, we may have taken too much time on number 2 to hear number 3.
Okay, Jared, item number 3.
Morning, Jared.
Morning, Commissioners. Jared Narum, Assistant Highway Superintendent. Yes, we're looking to purchase a motor grader. This is a budgeted item. The budgeted item is to finance this machine for 5 years. Being a cost of $448,499. We don't know yet what the interest rate's gonna be, as we can't lock into an interest rate until the machine hits the shore. That's the earliest we can lock into a finance. Now, with the feds dropping interest rates from when I started working on these, interest rates have fallen, some. So I think if we continue to hold that pattern, these interest rates will continue to go down on these machines, hopefully. That's our hope. But to talk about this, so I worked with Butler Cat, and I also worked with RDO in Sioux Falls. We set things out, apples to apples for both machines as well as we could. And we had a competitive bid price on both of these machines. I will say that the John Deere came in cheaper by $1,499. My reasoning for going with the Cat machine is, on the backside. What we get for discounts on filters and parts. Plus, we have Caterpillar, dealer level software at our shop. So when it comes time that a check engine light comes on, once we get through that initial first year on the warranty, some of those other things aren't covered for coming down to check on a check engine light or having to run it to Sioux Falls, so that'll save us a lot of money. You can save $1,000 in one call, basically. So yes, I'm just looking for approval to go through with this. We also had, the last year that we purchased a motor grader was 10 years ago. The machine, the motor grader that this one will be replacing is 22 years old, with over 10,000 hours on it. Trying to get it while there's still a little bit of value left in it. So after this all goes through, I will be surplusing, our 2002 Cat 140H.
What do you think the value might be on that, just for Curiosity.
40 to 50, maybe. What we'll do is we'll send it to public auction.
Sure.
It'll be what it'll be.
Yep.
I guess, when you say you have this budgeted, meaning in next year's budget?
No, in 25. Yep, because the machine won't hit the shore until next year, and it'll start coming out next
So you
year.
have some budgeted in this 25 budget?
Yep,
Or 24 budget?
25 budget.
25, okay, just to be clear.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, the only other question.
Yes.
Jared, you had made a comment about hit the shore. I'm assuming this is not an import?
I think most of their machines, I believe, are built in Brazil, I believe.
They are now.
Yep, they have been for a long time. Even back to 2007, I know a township back in 2007 had got one, and that had come the same way.
Do you know where
So-
John Deere's are made?
No, I do not. No. I would imagine they all play in some kind of the same criteria, same way of doing it. Yep. So once the machine gets here, it will go to Minnesota to get snow equipment put on it, and then it will come back to us once all the snow equipment is on it.
Commissioner Schmidt, did you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't, Mr. Chair. I think, one other comment. I hope the listeners understand and hear how long we keep equipment. When you keep equipment for over 2 decades, and with the amount of work that is done by these machines year in and year out, I think it sends a message to the taxpayers on how efficient our highway department is, but on how well we maintain these things. I mean, you, Mr. Chair and Commissioner Poppins, we all run machinery, and we know that when you run something 20-some years with the amount of work, we've usually sent it down the road by that time. But now here we have a machine that we've run for 22 years and still may have $50,000 worth of work on it. I think that's a pretty commendable thing. And I hope the taxpayers understand that and appreciate that.
That's a very good point. I guess at this particular time, is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask that we set aside this action at this point and hear the other 2 items. I have a request to our Mr. Floyd to find out where John Deere equipment is manufactured.
Okay.
And to your point, Mike, I get completely where
Yep.
you're going with that. The only thing is, even Fords, even Chevys.
Oh, I understand it, but if we.
Yep.
If we, as a commission,
Yep.
have an opportunity to keep people in the U.S. employed.
Oh,
I know it's a big deal nationally, and if we can do something locally in the same level, and maybe they're both import. And I do realize the world is a big place, and a lot of things get put around and put
Yep.
on ships all the time.
Yep.
But in my perspective, it would swing my vote as to where equipment is manufactured that our county employees are using, so.
I guess with that being said, before I get any other input, is there any public input on this matter? Okay, I guess Commissioner Poppins are you asking for this to be tabled or?
Just move to the bottom of our list
For today?
for today.
Okay, all right, thank you, Jared. We can do that. Then we'll go on to items number 4 and 5, which is our airport manager, Dave Myers. Is he present? He's not. Okay. Paul, can you fill us in, please?
Paul Anderson, Commission Administrative Assistant. I'll speak for David. I believe he had some kind of emergency at the airport or something he had to take care of that required his immediate attention. I don't know all the details, but I will talk for him because I know some of the details on this. This first one is a change order to the South Apron project. I think it increases project costs by $20,000 to the total project. I think, and this is at a reimbursement of 95%, 90 by the feds and 5% by the state. So it raises the project cost for the county by like 500 or so. I don't know whatever 5% of 20,000 is. I believe there were some cost overruns that they weren't expecting in there. But yeah, so this change order would just update the contract price by $20,000.
Okay, are there any other questions for Mr. Anderson? Again, is there any public input on this matter? Okay, I guess then, no other questions. I guess we're looking for board action, so I guess I'm looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll offer a motion to approve the change order.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Poppins, second by Schmidt. Is there any discussion? All right, I guess call the roll, please.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Next, item number 5. Go ahead, Paul, then, I guess, since Dave isn't here.
Yeah, so this is again, partial payment. This is money that goes out to be reimbursed at the 95.5 rate. This money, so right now, we're just approving the signing, the approval to pay it. The money will, the money for this will have to come out in 2025. Because it would require a supplement, and the due date for doing the supplement has passed. So this would just be approving the pay estimate to be paid, and the money's coming out in 2025.
What kind of timeline do they work on if they pay 95%? Do you know, Commissioner?
It's within 2 months, the turnaround for reimbursement.
Within 2 months?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, once.
Standard.
Yeah, once it's in, so we pay out the sum and then submit the they submit the payment, and then we receive our payment back again, 90% from the federal government, 5% from the state.
I will clarify, our paperwork has to be in order, and then they get reimbursement.
Yes.
Every once in a while, there's a little hiccup, and
Yeah.
things gotta get adjusted, but
Okay,
they've been really good about reimbursement.
good. Any other questions or comments for Paul? Commissioner Schmidt, do you have anything?
None. I'd move for approval.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval by Commissioner Schmidt and Poppins. Is there any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. All right, moving back then to item number 3.
Thanks, guys. Where are they manufactured?
Doing a quick, all we
Yeah.
can basically find, motors are manufactured in, Mexico, China, places like that. They have a place, in Davenport, Iowa, or Dubuque, I can't remember looking, that they're assembled. But yeah, the parts are coming from all over the world.
But they're assembling them here.
The best I can find, yes, but I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
Commissioner Schmidt, any thoughts?
Well, Commissioner Poppins, normally I respect your idea on maintaining there, but when I look over the long haul of having a Caterpillar in your shop that has all of the software and has all the necessary things that if something goes wrong, that can be corrected, and when you put your first new item in there that doesn't have that, it seems to me that you may save a little money on the first end, and you have a point about employment. But on the other hand, I'm not that concerned right now with that. I'm looking at the long game and how many dollars that Lincoln County can save. So I would go for the Caterpillar. That's where I would vote for.
And the one thing also is just the dealer support you get. If you have a dealer that's more, they more than willing to work with you, they cut you deals on parts. They look at Lincoln County as a value customer. Even what we get our oil filters for.
Is Caterpillar guarantee we will not face a tariff fee if that's implemented before it's shipped in?
From Brazil, I don't believe so. No, we've never dealt with tariffs before.
Well, there's just,
Yep, well, I mean, we've dealt with tariffs
country, I don't know
on
if we
cutting
have.
edges.
do we have any
Others-
guarantee we won't face a tariff on this cost?
No, that was never even part of the discussion. No.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Commissioner Poppins, the only 3 tariffs that I've ever heard about on the news has been for Canada, Mexico, and China. I doubt sincerely if we have tariffs out of Brazil, because that would encumber all kinds of our commodity trades as well. And that's the last thing we need to have a tariff on, is anything like that for prices. So I wouldn't, my own concern would be, I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't be concerned about that either. I want to pick up what Jared said. We're buying this, Jared, through what company? Is this, which Caterpillar company?
Butler in Sioux Falls.
Yes. Butler Cat has been very responsible to county commissioners across the state. I think whenever there is a convention or something, they are the ones that step up first. And I'm sure you've been to a few conventions, and they usually bring their equipment. So I think Jared makes a very valid point on having a dealer that is willing and has probably done some very nice things for us in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Schmidt, your points are very well made, and again, the Butler equipment is by far as good, if not better, than other things. Same token, my driving questions are the fact that if entities like ourselves don't start to make the message clearer that we want to have some of these important jobs kept in the U.S., whose responsibility is it? The public keeps telling us, buy local, buy local. And where does our role come in that? And I know Butler Cat has been an exceptional dealer, and the Caterpillar, in the U.S. has been a great to counties. Same token, somewhere the message has to be clear that we need to keep these jobs at home if we can. And if there's reasons that I don't know about that why Caterpillar can't be manufactured here, assembled here. Obviously, Dubuque, Iowa is not that far from Lincoln County, South Dakota. They're able to manufacture, in your own words, an equivalent machine. There's advantages to staying with Caterpillar for the technology.
And it is a big
Commissioner
cost
Schmidt,
savings.
Yeah, there's somewhere I think we do have the ability to send in that message, and it's unfortunate that we only have 3 commissioners here to vote on this today, because I do believe it is time sensitive and we need to keep moving on it. But I'd second a motion to approve. I don't know for sure if I'll vote for it, though.
I think too that if we wait, it probably costs us some money, and of course, if we find something made here or wherever, if it's more money, are we willing to spend more money?
Well, so if it helps just a little, so the.
Anything will help, Jared.
Yes. So the equipment, the snow equipment that is going on this is built right in Minnesota. The walk and roll packer that's gonna be on the backside of it is built in the United States as well. So parts that are hanging around it are gonna be hung on it are, built in the United States.
So most of this is used for snow removal and then for construction in the summer?
Yep. Because it'll go, once we receive it, it'll go up into, Little Falls, Minnesota to get fall snow equipment put on it.
Are both of them available to the county at the same time frame?
That I do not know.
That quote does
I
not.
do not know the lead time on both machines, no.
That quote does not include those type of items, though. It's just for,
Nope, this is everything in one contract, everything.
Do you know, Jared, of the other Caterpillar equipment that we currently use, payloaders, et cetera, are they all manufactured outside the U.S.?
No, pavers are built, up in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Asphalt pavers are built up in, Minnesota. I believe crawler trucks, some equipment's built in North Carolina?
Peoria.
Peoria, Illinois, yeah,
North Carolina is skids.
yep.
is there any other questions or discussion?
North Carolina too, I think.
Okay, and no public input. I guess, that being said, we're ready to vote. Call the roll, please.
No, you got did we have a motion? We don't have a motion.
Oh, we don't have a motion.
Commissioner Schmidt, if you make the motion, I'll second and I'll,
I will so move. That's
Okay.
to purchase the Caterpillar road grader.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'm going to support this motion because of the necessity, a timeframe. But I do want to, any of our departments, not just your department, Jared and Terry, you know, if we have the opportunity to pick between two machines and one machine is, you know, made
Yep.
less than, you know, the adjacent state,
Yep.
and one's assembled in Brazil or some other
Right.
country, let's take it serious and give that a lot of weight in making the decision. It might not be comfortable, you know, the technology, it's simple, it's easy, but it's a changing world again. And I think we need to be prepared to do some, I hate to say protectionism in our actions, but yeah, these are jobs, important jobs to our neighbors, our friends, our relatives, and it all trickles down. And it just follows into buy local, which I have a small business, and I truly understand what that means because that money rotates within our local community, and it's important. So I will support it today, but I do encourage not just the highway department, but all departments to, if there's an opportunity to look seriously and give extra weight to a product that is made, not just in the US, but literally a state away, it would make a difference, or it should make a difference.
Yes,
So,
good
thank you.
point. Good point. All right, any other questions or discussion? We have a motion and a second, a motion by Schmidt, a second by Poppins. Okay, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
All right, I guess at this time, we're concluding business. Is there any opportunity for public comment? Okay, any commissioners' reports?
Nothing to say other than the holiday season is upon us. Hope everyone has a safe holiday season so far, and they spend time with family and friends.
How true. I know that our building project, the Justice Center, I know that even since yesterday, there's been some movement there, and another corner or pillar or whatever, I'm not sure what the correct name is, has been erected. So even though we had a slight dusting of snow, work continues out there, and it's really nice to see the progress also on Highway 18 coming into Canton. It's getting much better, and so those are good things. We need to have roads, and obviously, we need to have buildings to do the business that we're required to do. All right, with that being said, executive session, Drew, is there anything? No? Okay. Well, with that being said, I guess we're ready for a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No public input? All right, go ahead. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Poppins?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Gibbon?
Yes, we are adjourned.